Welcome to Elderly Care, a place where wisdom is honored and growing older is celebrated with dignity and warmth. I'm Dr. Winston, a geriatric physician with over 30 years of experience walking alongside older adults through every season of life. In this video, I'll be your guide, sharing both science and soul to help you not just live longer, but live better. If you're over 60 or caring for someone who is, this space is made for you. We talk about physical health, emotional well-being, and the quiet strength that often goes unnoticed in aging. If that resonates with you, please take a moment to like this video, share it with someone you love, and subscribe to our channel. Together, we're building a community of care where every year of life is honored and every voice matters. Now, let's begin our journey together. At 73, Eleanor wakes before the sun. The world is still hushed. The streets outside her window dim with the last threads of night. She sits quietly at the edge of her bed, letting her feet rest on the wooden floor for a moment. Her breath soft and measured. Then, like she's done every morning for the past decade, she stretches her arms overhead, smiles to herself, and begins her day. Eleanor isn't extraordinary by modern standards. She isn't climbing mountains or running marathons, but there's something in the way she carries herself, serene, steady, and full of presence, that makes you pause. People often say, you don't look your age, but the truth is deeper than appearance. Eleanor is living proof that life after 70 doesn't have to be a slow retreat. For her, it has become a quiet, deliberate journey into depth, health, and meaning. As we grow older, especially past 70, society often whispers messages of decline, slowing down, doing less, stepping back. But what if those whispers are wrong? What if instead there are certain habits, 6 simple enduring ones, that act like lanterns, lighting the path toward a longer, healthier, and more vibrant life? And what if you, like Eleanor, are already practicing them without fully realizing the gift you're giving yourself? Let's walk together into this exploration. You might recognize some of these habits in your own life, or perhaps find encouragement to gently bring them back. The first is something Eleanor treasures deeply: the habit of movement. Not exercise in the sweaty, punishing sense, but the gentle rhythm of daily physical activity. Each morning, she walks through her garden, tending to roses and herbs with practiced hands. She bends, reaches, and stretches, guided by the needs of her plants and the wisdom of her body. Studies have consistently shown that regular movement, be it walking, gardening, tai chi, or dancing, can reduce the risk of chronic diseases, preserve cognitive function, and uplift the spirit. The key isn't intensity, it's consistency. When your body moves, your heart pumps with life, your joints stay fluid, and your lungs breathe in renewal. But there's more. Alongside movement is the second quiet strength: mental curiosity. Eleanor reads each day, sometimes novels, other times news articles or short stories. She asks questions. She calls her niece to talk about the world. She takes notes during documentaries. Research from neuroscientists supports this. The brain, even after 70, remains remarkably adaptive. When you feed it with curiosity, you keep it engaged, sharp, and resilient. The mind, like a garden, needs tending. And those who keep learning, even in small doses, are nurturing seeds of longevity. Third is social connection, a lifeline that is often underestimated. Every Tuesday, Eleanor meets with a small circle of friends at the community centre. They play cards, drink tea, and talk about memories, worries, joys. Loneliness, according to the World Health Organization, is one of the most overlooked causes of mental and physical decline in older adults. It creeps in quietly, often when adult children move away or close friends pass on. But staying socially active, even if it's just a few meaningful interactions each week, provides emotional nourishment that translates directly into physical health. The heart beats stronger in the company of care. Then there's emotional regulation, the fourth pillar of enduring vitality. Over the years, Eleanor has learned not to carry unnecessary weight in her heart. She forgives easily. She doesn't dwell. When conflict arises, she breathes before reacting. When sadness visits, she acknowledges it, then gently invites joy back in. According to psychologists, the ability to regulate emotions, especially letting go of resentment, bitterness, or prolonged grief, lowers stress hormones and protects the immune system. A calm mind often leads to a calm body, and that calm becomes a sanctuary that guards against the wear and tear of time. Fifth is purpose. For Eleanor, it's her little garden, her stories, and being present for her granddaughter's phone calls. Purpose doesn't have to be grand, it just needs to be real. Dr. Patricia Boyle of the Rush Alzheimer's Disease Centre found in a groundbreaking study that seniors with a strong sense of purpose were twice as likely to remain free of Alzheimer's and other forms of cognitive decline. Purpose adds structure to the day. It turns waking up into a choice rather than an obligation. It says, you still matter. And finally, there's something even more subtle, perhaps the most powerful of all, a positive outlook on aging itself. Eleanor doesn't see aging as a curse, but a slow unfolding. She embraces the lines on her face as pages of a well-lived story. She laughs at forgetfulness and is gentle with her limitations. This mindset, researchers at Yale have shown, can increase life expectancy by as much as 7.5 years. When you believe that aging can be a time of growth, reflection, and even joy, your body follows suit. It relaxes. It heals. It lives longer. These 6 habits, movement, mental curiosity, social connection, emotional balance, purpose, and a positive outlook, aren't secrets reserved for the few. They are choices available to anyone, regardless of income, education, or background. And if you are over 70 and still doing these things, even in your own quiet way, then you are already walking the path toward a longer, healthier life. But what if you're not doing all of them yet? What if the days feel heavier, the motivation thinner? That's okay. Change doesn't demand a sudden leap. It only asks for a small, steady shift. A 10-minute walk, a phone call, a page of a book, a moment of stillness. These small things matter. They accumulate. They heal. Let's pause here. I'll continue with the second half in the next message, diving deeper into how each of these habits works in the body, stories of others like Eleanor, and practical ways anyone can adopt or revive them gently. Of course, let's continue with the second half of this gentle journey, a deeper look at how these 6 habits shape not only the quality of your life, but its length too. We'll stay with Eleanor and meet a few others along the way, each quietly proving that vitality after 70 isn't a fantasy, but a well-earned truth. Eleanor once said something simple, almost in passing. You don't stop growing just because your hair turns grey. It stayed with me because aging, as researchers remind us, isn't just about the body growing older. It's about how we respond to change, how we choose to engage with life even as the landscape shifts. Take movement, for instance. It's more than physical exercise. It's a way to remind the body that it's still alive. Walking each day, even for just 20 minutes, has been shown to lower blood pressure, improve cardiovascular health, and reduce the risk of type 2 diabetes. Gentle movement, like yoga, swimming, or just standing up and stretching during the day, also improves balance and reduces the risk of falls, which remain one of the most serious health threats to seniors. Eleanor's garden has become her gym and her meditation space. For her, weeding and planting are more than chores. They're quiet acts of self-preservation. Her steps among the tomatoes and marigolds are the same steps that are strengthening her bones, oxygenating her brain, and gently reminding her heart how to beat with resilience. Mental curiosity, the second habit, may seem small, like reading a chapter in a book or completing a crossword, but its impact is vast. The brain loves challenge, even after decades of use. Studies show that seniors who remain mentally active are less likely to suffer from cognitive decline. And it doesn't have to be formal education. Learning a new recipe, experimenting with a new device, writing letters, or even picking up a few words in a foreign language can all keep the brain agile. Eleanor recently began sketching her plants, simple pencil drawings in a worn-out notebook. I'm not an artist, she laughs, but us eyes see things differently now. That's the magic of curiosity. It makes the ordinary feel new. Then there's the often underrated power of connection. Social bonds act as emotional nutrition. Without them, isolation begins to wear away at both spirit and health. Scientists have linked loneliness to higher rates of heart disease, depression, and even early death. But connection doesn't require constant company. It's the quality, not quantity, that matters. Eleanor finds comfort in short visits from her neighbor and Sunday video calls with her son, who lives overseas. These small, heartfelt moments tether her to the world. And for those who struggle with loneliness, community centers, book clubs, and volunteering opportunities often open doors to new friendships, even late in life. One doesn't need to be surrounded by people, just known by a few. Emotional regulation, being able to find calm even in difficulty, is another quiet superpower. Life doesn't grow easier with age. In many ways, it becomes more complex. Losses accumulate, bodies change, the pace of life can feel foreign. But those who find peace amidst these changes tend to live longer, healthier lives. Researchers have discovered that emotional resilience lowers levels of cortisol, the stress hormone that, when left unchecked, wears down the immune system. Eleanor has learned to talk kindly to herself. When her knees ache, she thanks them for carrying her through the years. When a friend moves into assisted living, she lets herself cry, then writes them a letter. Emotional strength isn't about avoiding feelings. It's about letting them pass through you without letting them take root. Let's talk about purpose. It's what pulls us out of bed. It's what gives our days shape. Without it, time becomes foggy and long. With it, even ordinary days feel sacred. Dr. Boyle's research on purpose in older adults found that it acts as a protective force. Seniors who feel a sense of meaning in their daily lives not only live longer, but also enjoy greater mobility and a lower risk of stroke. Eleanor's purpose is modest. She wants to teach her great-granddaughter how to grow basil and tomatoes. She also writes down family recipes to leave behind. That sense of contribution, of still being part of something larger, sustains her in a way no medicine ever could. For those searching for purpose, it can begin small. Caring for a pet, writing your memories down, mentoring someone younger, tending to a shared space. Purpose doesn't ask for perfection, it asks for presence. Finally, the sixth and perhaps most transformative habit, seeing aging not as a decline, but as a different kind of awakening. Eleanor sees herself as becoming more, not less, more aware, more forgiving, more attuned to what truly matters. Her mirrors show her wrinkles, yes, but also the softness in her eyes, the humor in her smile. A positive attitude toward aging has been shown to influence physical health, reduce memory loss, and increase survival rates. This isn't just optimism. It's a perspective that honors life's full journey rather than just the first half. You can start by changing your inner dialogue. Replace "I'm too old for this" with "Let's see how this feels now." Treat your body as a wise companion, not a burden. Admire your endurance instead of criticizing your pace. Throughout history, cultures that honor their elders tend to have longer living populations. In Okinawa, Japan, where many live beyond 100, there's a word, ikigai, your reason for being. Elders are seen as storytellers, teachers, and spiritual guides. They remain deeply involved in life. You are no less valuable now than you were at 20 or 40. In fact, your wisdom, perspective, and lived experience are needed more than ever. So what does this all mean for you? If you are over 70 and still practicing even a few of these 6 habits, you are on a beautiful path. You are reinforcing your body's ability to heal, your mind's ability to grow, and your spirit's ability to flourish. You are not just surviving, you are choosing to thrive. And if you feel you've fallen off track, it's never too late to return. Aging isn't a race or a ladder, it's a spiral. We circle back, we grow deeper, and each season offers a chance to begin again. Perhaps you've been waiting for a sign, a quiet affirmation that your small routines and efforts matter. Consider this that sign, a reminder that the walks, the conversations, the quiet joys, the little acts of care toward yourself, they all count. And if tomorrow you wake up with hesitation or doubt, remember Eleanor. Remember the stories that live in your hands, the steps you've already taken, and the possibility that still lingers in the air when the sun rises. You are not alone on this path. Many walk beside you, some ahead, some just beginning. Together, we form a gentle chorus, proving each day that life after 70 can be full of grace, meaning, and radiant health. So keep moving, keep learning, keep loving, keep believing. You are not only on track to live a long and healthy life, you are already doing it. Thank you for spending this quiet moment with me. If today's message gave you hope or reminded you of your own strength, know that our journey doesn't end here. There's so much more to discover, to feel, and to live, no matter your age. I invite you to subscribe to Elderly Care, where each video opens a new door to understanding, healing, and thriving in later life. Click that subscribe button and join us for the next chapter. We're just getting started, and your story matters.